Last year, I made a video comparing the Powerpuff Girls reboot to the Powerpuff Girls anime, Powerpuff Girls Z. The response in that video was overwhelmingly positive towards the anime, so I thought I would give it another look and see what you all love so much about it. Now, I haven't seen many of the episodes, let alone all of them, but I think I might have found what is the weirdest episode in the series, and if not, how does it get weirder than this? So, one of my favorite plot points in the original series was the creation of the RowdyRuff boys. I just love that whole trope of evil versions of the main characters, as well as gendered swap versions of the characters, so their episodes were always particularly fun to me. With that in mind, I decided to check out what exactly the RowdyRuff boys' role happened to be in the anime, and it did not disappoint. Now, for those of you who don't know, Powerpuff Girls Z was an anime adaptation of the Powerpuff Girls that ran for about one full season in Japan, totaling 52 episodes. In this version of the show, the girls aren't sisters created in a lab by Professor Utonium, but rather they are regular schoolgirls with their own families and social lives. These girls are randomly hit by beams of Chemical Z, which gives them superpowers. Likewise, these same beams hit random animals and people and turns them into the supervillains you remember from the original series. There's a lot more to it, so go check out my last video if you haven't seen it and want to get the full story here. I'll link it in the comments down below. Anyways, in the original series, the girls were created by Professor Utonium with sugar, spice, and everything nice, and then some Chemical X. To parallel this, the RowdyRuff boys were created with snips, snails, and puppy dog tails, with the prison toilet being used in lieu of Chemical X. This creates the RowdyRuff boys, who are just insanely evil boy versions of the Powerpuff Girls. The boys proceed to kick the girls' butts because they are stronger than them for some reason, likely because they are willing to fight dirty, but in the end the girls defeat them by using their femininity against them. The boys are terrified of the feminine aspect of the girls, and when the girls kiss each of them, they are so overwhelmed that they explode. No, seriously, the girls straight up murdered the boys with kisses, then laughed about it. And this is the American version. Now, in the Japanese version, the RowdyRuff boys are created by Mojo Jojo again, despite being a parallel for the girls, who are all natural-born humans in this version. Instead of snip, snails, and puppy dog tails, however, Mojo Jojo simply steals the DNA of each of the girls, as well as some actual Chemical Z, and throws in some of his own nose hairs in the concoction to create the boys. Unlike in the original, where the boys immediately set out to fight the girls and are shown to be friendly with Mojo after their victory, these boys antagonize the girls and Mojo Jojo, eventually pitting them against each other, and then ditching Mojo Jojo when he loses. In this version, the boys are extremely vulgar. They do anything they can to annoy the girls and the townsfolk, such as picking their noses, throwing their boogers, wiggling their butts, and flipping the girls' skirts up. They annoy Mojo Jojo in particular by pranking the townspeople so that they take it out on Mojo Jojo and constantly refer to him as Mama because he created them. And this isn't even the weird episode yet, this is just me trying to explain their introduction. Anyways, 20 episodes later, the boys come back with a plan that is so insane I can't believe this episode actually got made. So the episode focuses on how the girls are going to be doing some performance staging for the mayor, and their clothes are extremely dirty from fighting evil all the time, so they need to get their outfits washed. This is complicated because the girls' outfits aren't their choices in the show. For some reason, when Chemical Z hits the girls, they each get a new magical outfit that comes charged with all of their superpowers, but they have no actual superpowers themselves. Normally, they magically appear and disappear when they press these magic buttons, but this time they remove the clothes manually so that the professor can clean them. While experimenting with the clothes' durability to try and understand their power, Professor Utonium decides to put on Bubbles' outfit, which is just... what? He doesn't even try using their powers, he just says they're comfortable. And it just gets weirder from here. You see, Utonium is able to wash the clothes, but when he hangs them to dry, the RowdyRuff boys end up stealing the outfits and wearing them themselves. They also manage to steal the girls' weapons, and thus they are now the superpowered kids and the girls are not. So the rest of the episode is basically just the RowdyRuff boys prancing around in girls' outfits, and still, it gets weirder. After pranking the town by littering, talking loudly on the train, and unleashing a horde of animals into traffic so that they can jaywalk, the boys are found by the mayor, who tells these boys in miniskirts to get into his car. These boys in miniskirts, who have never met this man, just get right in. From there, they are taken to the stage performance where everyone else mistakes them for the Powerpuff Girls too. Mind you, they aren't talking like girls, acting like girls, or even changing their hair, they are just being themselves while in miniskirts, but everyone else totally buys this. This is likely a reference to an early episode of the original Powerpuff Girls, which showed prisoners badly dressing up as the girls and all of Townsville totally buying it, even though... yikes. So at this performance, the boys decide to mess with everyone by teaching them how to be rude, picking your nose and shaking your butt at people, you know, delinquent stuff. It is exceptionally weird that the writer somehow managed to put a little boy in a miniskirt and got him to wiggle his butt at an old man, and then on top of it, they didn't even censor it in America, where we are notorious for censoring weird things from Japan. Despite literally showing up in person and not being rude, everyone assumes that the girls are the imposters here because of their bad outfits. They try to sneak their outfits off of the boys, but all this leads to is a very awkward moment where the mayor loses his clothes, and it's heavily implied that he's entirely naked because they aren't showing him below the waist, only to reveal he was in underwear the entire time. Thank you, merciful Lord Jesus. Finally, the girls decide they need to just fight the RowdyRuff boys, but they unleash a fart so powerful that the entire theater can be seen reacting with anguish. They take the fight outside, where the girls realize their super suits, while awesome, are still no match for their real magic suits, and instead try reverse psychology on the boys, telling them that they look good in skirts, that they can be friends and do girly stuff, and that is enough to make the boys give up and return the clothes to the girls. Can you see why I'm convinced this is the weirdest episode in the series without actually having seen most of it? I mean, how did this get made? Why wasn't someone arrested for all of this? And this is not even the end of the RowdyRuff boys. We don't see the boys again until the penultimate episode. This time, they are given the Chemical Z powers from him and his League of Bad Guys, which is somehow used to bring a Sphinx back to life while time traveling. Like in the original series, the girls defeat them simply by kissing them, which makes them explode into Chemical Z energy, and just like in the original, the girls are just laughing it off that they murdered 3 boys using kisses. I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's not just this adaptation that's weird, the entire franchise is. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. What Powerpuff Girls Z episode should I watch next, I guess? Or maybe there's some other show that you can recommend me with weird episodes? I love making videos like these. See you next time.